Welcome to the 2018 State of Small College Basketball Address. My name is John McCarthy, and I'm the founder of Small College Basketball. And this will be the fourth time we've done this. It will be the first time we've done this live in front of an audience. So thank you for being here today. It's a real pleasure, obviously, and an honor to have each of you here today. And I'd like to start by thanking and congratulating each of the national champions this year under the umbrella of small college basketball. First, in NCAA Division II, I'd like to congratulate Ferris State for their win over Northern State, 71-69, to capture the NCAA Division II National Championship. They were coached by Coach Andy Bronkema, and the most outstanding player in the NCAA Division II National Championship this year was junior Zach Hankins from Ferris State. In NCAA Division III, we'd like to congratulate Nebraska Wesleyan for their win over Wisconsin Oshkosh, 78-72. I'd like to congratulate Coach Dale Wellman and the most outstanding player, Cooper Cook, for their national championship this year. In NAIA Division I, we'd like to congratulate Graceland for their win over LSU Alexandria, 83-80 in overtime on an absolutely thrilling buzzer beater as the shot clock expires, as the game clock expired. I'd like to congratulate Coach Craig Doty and the most valuable player of the NAIA Division I championship, L.T. Davis. In NAIA Division II, Indiana Wesleyan defeated St. Francis of Indiana 84-71. It was Coach Greg Tonagle's third national championship in the last 5 years, and the most outstanding player went to freshman Kyle Mangus. In the United States Collegiate Athletic Association Division I, Rochester defeated Oakwood 80-61. Coach Clint Pleasant led their team to the national championship, while the most valuable player went to Justin Nafsco from Rochester. In the United States Collegiate Athletic Association Division II, Berkeley defeated Villa Maria 93-77 under the leadership of Coach Jonathan Pena. The most valuable player was Johnny Green from Berkeley. In the National Christian College Athletic Association Division I, Emmanuel defeated Southwestern Christian from Oklahoma 85-65. They were led by Coach T.J. Rosine, and the most valuable player was Elijah Robinson from Emmanuel College. In NCCAA Division II, Randall defeated Bob Jones University 86-84. They were led by Coach Mark Barakoff, and the most valuable player was Trey Sneed from Randall. This year's National Players of the Year. In NCAA Division II, we had multiple National Players of the Year depending on the various publications. Haywood Highsmith from Wheeling Jesuit, Justin Pitts from Northwest Missouri State, and Zach Hankins from Ferris State all were named National Player of the Year by at least one publication. In NCAA Division III, Tyheem Monroe from Cabrini and Nate Axelrod from Ohio Wesleyan were named the National Players of the Year. In NAIA Division I, Ryan Imhoff from Carroll College in Montana was named the National Player of the Year. In NAIA Division II, Kyle Stegenga from Cornerstone was named the National Player of the Year. In the National Christian College Athletic Association Division I, Mark Eden from Life Pacific was named the National Player of the Year. In the National Christian College Athletic Association Division II, Trey Sneed was named the National Player of the Year. And in the USCAA Division I, Anthony Knight from Maine Fort Kent was named the National Player of the Year. In the USCAA Division II, Michael Taylor from Berkeley was named the National Player of the Year. In the National Christian College Division I, the Pete Maravich Award went to Patrick Burke from Dallas Baptist, while in NCCAA Division II, the Pete Maravich Award went to Hayden Dunn from Kentucky Christian. The National Coaches of the Year. In NCAA Division II, Coach Andy Bronkema from Ferris State. In NCAA Division III, Coach Dale Wellman from Nebraska Wesleyan. In NAIA Division I, Coach Craig Doty from Graceland. In NAIA Division II, Coach Greg Tonagle from Indiana Wesleyan. In the United States Collegiate Athletic Association Division I, Coach Todd Kelly from Illinois Tech. In USCAA Division II, Coach Todd Hogan from NHTI. In the National Christian College Athletic Association Division I, Coach T.J. Rosine from Emmanuel College. And in NCCAA Division II, Coach Brandon Perry from Johnson University was named the National Coach of the Year. Within the organization of small college basketball this year, we inducted a new class into our Hall of Fame. It was the second class, and this class included Coach Don Meyer, Coach Dave Robbins, Zelmo Beatty, Al Tucker, Emil Liston, Walt Frazier, Bob Love, Jack Sikma, Elmore Smith, Jim Spivey, and Rico Swanson, along with the George Tinsley, who also was named the Larry Smith Award winner. It was a real thrill that night on November 2nd, 2017, Evansville, Indiana, to have with us in person for the Hall of Fame induction Coach Dave Robbins, Bob Love, Jack Sikma, Jim Spivey, Rico Swanson, and George Tinsley, all there in person, while Walt Frazier and Elmore Smith did a video to accept their Hall of Fame induction. What a great night for the game of basketball. We're excited about announcing the class of 2018. That announcement will be made this coming June. Small college basketball also held our second annual Hall of Fame Classic in conjunction with the Hall of Fame induction. The games were held on November 3rd and 4th in the beautiful Ford Center in Evansville, Indiana. The Hall of Fame Classic featured the University of Southern Indiana, Kentucky Wesleyan, Ferris State, Findlay, St. Thomas Aquinas, IUP, Montevallo, and Augustana from South Dakota. Both Ferris State and Findlay went undefeated during the event, while Stack's Justin Reyes was named the Classic's most valuable player. Ferris State went on to go 38-1 and capture the 2018 NCAA Division II National Championship. The 38 wins tied the NCAA Division II all-time wins record in a single season. In November, we announced the creation of the Small College Basketball Alumni Association. We also created an interactive portal, the Celebration of the Game event, which we are here for today. And we also created the National Award Show, and we created the Lifetime Achievement Award, which will be presented tonight. What a fantastic start for the Alumni Association. The annual Larry Smith Award, the first one, was presented to Kentucky Wesleyan legend George Tinsley in a wonderful ceremony on November 2nd, 2017. The 2018 Larry Smith Award will be presented in conjunction with the Hall of Fame induction this coming November. Additionally, the Bevo Francis Award, the third ever, was won this year by Lincoln Memorial's Emmanuel Terry, and that presentation will take place this evening. In regards to the 2018 Small College Basketball Hall of Fame Classic, I'm pleased to tell you that the Conference Commissioners Association and the NCAA has granted our event exempt status, which means the games will count in all ways, except they won't count against the limit of games that may be played. In essence, the teams that participate get 2 extra games that season. Additionally, we'll be able to play the week before the rest of NCAA Division II may begin their regular season. The additional announcements about the 2018 Hall of Fame induction and Hall of Fame Classic will be forthcoming this June. Within college basketball itself this year, I'd like to recognize a few monumental achievements. There are several prominent coaches that retired at the end of this season, and I'd like to tip my cap to each of them, but I'd especially like to recognize a couple. I'd like to recognize Washington University Coach Mark Edwards, who served as the head coach at Wash U for 37 years. Coach Edwards went 685 and 293 for a winning percentage of 70% for his career. His teams had 34 consecutive winning seasons. They qualified for 21 NCAA tournaments. They won 15 conference championships, and they won back-to-back NCAA Division III national championships in 2008 and 2009. And Coach was also recognized as the NCAA Division III National Coach of the Year in 2002, 2008, and 2009. Congratulations on a wonderful career, Coach Edwards. I'd also like to congratulate Coach Harry Statham, who's here with us this evening, on one of the finest careers in college basketball history. Coach Statham won 1,122 games and coached 1,635 games, which represent more wins and more games coached than any four-year coach in the history of college basketball, men's or women's. He served as McHenry's coach for 52 years. He's a winner. He's a gentleman, and will be missed on the college sidelines. Additionally and importantly, I'd like to tip my cap and congratulate Coach Jonathan Pena and all those involved with the Berkeley College program. After playing at Berkeley and then serving as an assistant coach at Berkeley, he took over as head coach this season and then promptly led the Knights to their 4th consecutive USCA Division II National Championship. The Knights finished with a 28-1 record and won 25 consecutive games to finish out the season. At the conclusion of the season, Berkeley has now won an astounding 81 of their last 82 games. Congratulations, Coach Pena and the Berkeley College program. Also, I'd like to tip my cap and congratulate Coach Mark Barakoff at Randall University for winning their 3rd consecutive NCCAA Division II National Championship. You might not have realized that Randall's won 3 straight as they changed the name of the school after the 2016 season. They won the 2016 National Championship as Hillsdale Baptist and won the 2017 and 18 National Championships as Randall University. Congratulations to Coach Mark Barakoff and Randall University. I'd like to tip my cap to a few careers that have just finished up, that have just been astounding, remarkable careers. The first I'd like to recognize is Cornerstone's Kyle Stegenga. Think about this. He set not only the school scoring record and the conference scoring record, but he set the state of Michigan's scoring record for his career. In his final game, check this out, in his final game as a collegiate player, Kyle Stegenga passed the 3,000 point barrier and became the NAIA Division II tournament's all-time leading scorer and became the NAIA Division II tournament's all-time leading rebounder in the same game. He was the first player in NAIA Division II history to be named first-team All-American for all 4 years. He was named the NAIA Player of the Year this year and the COSIDA Academic All-American Player of the Year, and was named the NAIA's Emil Liston Award winner. For his career, Cornerstone went 122-21. I tip my cap and congratulate Cornerstone's Kyle Stegenga. Additionally, I'd like to tip my cap to Randall University's Trey Sneed. What a career. Trey Sneed, think about this, was the National Player of the Year for 3 straight years and led them to 3 straight national championships and was named the most outstanding player in the national tournament for 2 different seasons. What a tremendous career for Trey Sneed, and I tip my cap to his great career. I was inspired this year by a couple stories I learned, and I want to share a little bit about those stories with you. I was inspired by Sammy Allen's story from Texas Permian Basin. Sammy Allen grew up in Oakland, California. His story is remarkable. Between kindergarten and 4th grade, Sammy lived in a van, literally parked outside of his grandmother's house. They didn't have room in the house, so they got a van and they used his mother's parking spot out back so that he could live in the van for 4 years. He tried to enroll in school previous to that, but he had no address. He wasn't able to get into school. He eventually got through high school. And as Sammy would tell you, basketball saved and changed his life because eventually he became a good player in high school. Well, eventually, by the time he got to 5th grade, he was able to move into the house as some of the older children. There were 10 people in the house, a very small house in Oakland. Eventually moved out. By 5th grade, he could move in to have a roof over his head. But he was entertained by the other 10 children, other 9 children in the house, playing games all the time, eventually became good enough to earn a scholarship to Texas Permian Basin, but it didn't work out quite as well as he expected in the fact that coach initially looked at him and eventually signed a guard instead of signing Sammy Allen. So he sat another year without going to school, trying to stock shelves and try to make ends meet. Eventually, the second time around, a year later, same coach came back, gave him a scholarship. It changed his life. Sammy Allen helped lead his team this year to a top 10 program in the country with Texas Permian Basin, while recording a triple-double in one game and averaging a double-double for his career. And his focus has been to graduate college because nobody in his family has ever graduated college. And Sammy Allen is on track right now to finish his degree in college after spending 4 years growing up in a van. I was inspired. Sam Toney from New Jersey State University is only a sophomore, but Sam Toney is 25 years old. The reason he's a 25-year-old sophomore is, by his account, he's lived in at least 50, if not considerably more, foster homes growing up. And eventually, he moved in with a family in his mid-20s. The family said, if you're going to live with us, you're going to earn your degree and you're going to go to college. And I'm inspired by the story that I just read about him. For quite a period of time, he was stocking shelves in Walmart, but people didn't realize that he wasn't going home. He was going from stocking shelves to his car, where he would live in his car and sleep in his car overnight. There were some nights where he was able to scrape up enough money when it was really cold out in New Jersey that he was able to scrape up enough money to get a hotel room to sleep when it was really cold. Right now, Sam Toney is on track to earn his degree from New Jersey State University. In addition to that, Sam Toney just had such a tremendous year. He almost averaged a double-double and was named NCAA Division III All-American as only a sophomore this year. I was inspired by Sammy Allen. I was inspired by Sam Toney. I'd like to thank each of you for taking the time to be here with us today for the Celebration of the Game event. And I look forward to seeing all of you tonight as we ring in our first ever National Award Show for small college basketball. Thank you for being here.